So Piot hates that I make these videos, so naturally I'm gonna do it again because it's kind of interesting to just hear someone's perspective while they're doing the battle. So he brings in Tentacruel to start out the game, and at that point I just figure, alright, he's gonna go for Toxic Spikes a bunch, and he just really wants to whittle my team down that way. And I led with my Choice Scarf Greninja because it was risky to lead with anything else, and I just wanted to get that initiative and find out, if his Darmanitan or potentially his Heliolisk was Choice Scarf also. So I bring in Miltank, and at this point I figure he's either going to knock off or just keep spamming Toxic Spikes. So he goes for that first Toxic Spikes, putting those hazards on my side of the field. And I decide to just stay in and just start clicking Bulldoze, because I want to lower that speed and it'll just make me... And if he swaps, I can keep that speed low. So I go for Bulldoze, and it turns out that he's a Clear Body variant and not Liquid Ooze or Rain Dish. So all of this like communication between the two of us, this Miltank and Tentacruel, it's all based on speed ties, because we have the exact same speed stat, because last time he was faster, now this time I'm faster. So constantly it's just speed ties back and forth, and really that's what determines this final kill. Because if he was able to get the burn the second time, it'd probably end a lot differently, but Bulldoze, I take down Tentacruel, first kill of the game by Miltank. And this is super nice because now he has nothing to get rid of hazards, and he can't reset up Toxic Spikes if I get rid of them. So he brings in OJ Simpson. He didn't do it, and I just decide to sack off Miltank because I don't want to swap into anything because he's just so powerful, and I don't want to unnecessarily poison anything. So at this point I decide to go into Greninja and scare this thing out. I actually did not bring a water move on my Greninja this game because of the threats of Heliolisk and healing him up. So I just decided to go for a U-turn right here on his Azumarill. And right when I saw Azumarill get out and I was using U-turn, I was so happy, because this gave me the opportunity to go straight into my Silvally, and this is Silvally Poison, and I brought him to be poison so he can take away those poison spikes on the field, those toxic spikes on the field. I go for a multi-attack poison, and this just does work against that Azumarill. It just completely blows him back. And it was so nice to get that thing out of the way because it was such a big threat. And he brings in Alakazam, and this next move is kind of weird. So I swap out into my Reuniclus, or my Carl, good old reliable Carl, and his Alakazam goes for a Shadow Ball without Mega Evolving. And the reason that happened was he was searching for his charger and stuff because his phone and his game was dying, and the game just auto-clicked something. So it auto-chose Shadow Ball, so I mean, that's exactly what you would do, it just wouldn't have been as powerful. But even at this point, if it would have, I trained my Reuniclus so that it could take 2 Shadow Balls and still live. It'd be like a 1% chance for him to die from 2 Shadow Balls from a Mega Alakazam. So I barely live, and I go for a Choice Spec Signal Beam, and this just blows Alakazam back. It's such a perfect, it was just a perfect situation. Since I have Regenerator, I decided to swap out and get some HP back, and I go into Greninja because there's no reason for him to go for a Focus Blast or something against. So, I get to swap this thing in, not necessarily for free, but it's a perfect matchup. Because I am Choice Scarf, so I will be able to outspeed this thing. And since he has Regenerator, he can just swap out if he wants. And I just decided to go for the U-turn, because I didn't want to risk him switching into Umbreon and me being locked into Night Slash. So U-turn on OJ Simpson, he didn't do it. And I'm in a good position right now. The game's going pretty well. Bring in good old Carl, and I bring in Reuniclus, and then I swap him out right away so I can get even more Regenerator health back. Because I'm not running Recover or anything, so it's the only way for me to get back health. And Darmanitan just goes for that Flare Blitz. And I think he just really wanted to kill Reuniclus, that's why I decided to go for this instead of U-turn. And he gets hit by the Rocky Helmet, and he gets hit by the Recoil, which is great. And I weigh the option whether or not I should Recover or just go for an attack, but I choose Recover because really the only good swap in he has is in the Umbreon, and this will give me a dope opportunity. So, Recover up on this Umbreon. And I invested enough speed into my Jellicent so that it could, completely outspeed Umbreon. And this is awesome. So I go for taunt, and I taunt his taunt. So now he only can go for attacking moves. And I don't know if he's going to be like Dark Pulse or Foul Play or Payback. So I just go into, Sylvally just to take these hits. My Sylvally is actually max defense, so I could take a +6 Aqua Jet from Azumarill. I just go for a U-turn, get a good chunk of damage off. And he can't heal up or anything, which is great. So I go into my Reuniclus, and this is the moment I was waiting for the entire game. So he goes for the Payback again, gets a decent amount of damage off on me, and his taunt wears off, so I know he's not going to switch out. He's probably going to go for like a Wish or a Moonlight to heal himself up, or heal something else up. So he goes for the Wish, and I'm thinking, okay, he's going to try to heal up that Alakazam, because it's probably his heaviest hitter, but I go for the Trick. And I was so happy this happened the way it did. So I give him my choice specs, and then I get the leftovers. And I was just on top of the world. I was on top of the world at this moment. And I'm like, well, I can just go for Signal Beam because there's, nothing really else I can do. I just go for the Signal Beam. He brings out the Alakazam, and this actually wasn't a roll. This was 100% going to kill. I think the minimum amount of damage it could do is 60%. So this just, it handles him. See you later, Alakazam. So, and he actually texted me at this point. He's like, yeah, GG, man. But we continued the game because, it's for the fans, for the viewers. Brings in OJ Simpson once again, but he didn't do it. And, I just switch out. I'm just going to get the Regenerator health back just in case, some ridiculousness happens. And bring in my Rocky Helmet, Jellicent. Takes the U-turn, he loses a bunch of health, sweet, and he goes back. And now, if I would have had Rocks up, this game would have been totally different because that thing would have been dead by now, but he killed Miltank pretty early on. So he brings in his shiny Haxorus, and I decide to stay in and just go for a taunt so he couldn't set up on me, but he makes the big play and just goes for a devastating Drake, this Dragon-type Z move, and you're about to see Jellicent just gets absolutely handled. Like, this thing eats my lunch and then stays at the table and waits for seconds. Like, this guy, it was bad news. And it really didn't matter because I had nothing really else to swap into this thing. So, Jellicent is gone. It's just, yeah, see you later. So I bring in my Lucario, and I train this Lucario specifically to fight this Haxorus. So he goes for the Earthquake, which I expected, and I live on my Focus Sash, and I'm like, sweet, here we go, let's do it. And I go for a Dragon Pulse, and I think Dragon Pulse just looks so dope in this game. And I don't know if he had full IVs invested in HP and Special Defense, because that was like a 12% chance of one-hitting, well, just one-shotting him. Which is okay, because even if it wouldn't have, my Lucario has Vacuum Wave, as you'll see here. That's a priority move. So, I just Vacuum Wave the Starmanitan. I'm pretty sure it was Scarfed at this point, and that just one-hit kills it. So, and that's actually the only fighting move that I have on my Lucario, is just that Vacuum Wave. So I can't really do anything to Umbreon, so I just swap out. It doesn't matter. I don't wanna lose a Pokemon if I don't have to, and just bring in Sylvally. And since this thing has choice specs on him, all he can do is just keep hitting just hit Payback. He can't really do anything else. And I decided to just Swords Dance up a couple times so I can make sure I kill this thing in one hit, because the last thing I want to do is like mess up, and just for some odd reason I just can't win. So I just decided to Swords Dance twice just to be extra safe. And he texted me, he's like, dude, I'm choice specs, just end the game. Like, I wasn't trying to do it to be a dick. I just wanted to make sure I could win this in one hit and not have anything dumb happen. So, U-turn, hits the Umbreon, and that is game over. So, good game. I was pretty nervous about it. And on to round 2, either fighting Piat or Carl. So, see you then. Peace.